following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Welcome in, everybody. I'm Devin O'Day, and it is Farmin FriYay. And you know, farming takes on a whole lot of different pictures. And we're going to go to, well, she's a horse heart farmer. She truly goes where angels fear to tread, and she does amazing work. And I fell in love with their web series that they do from Plus Humane. And then when I realized they're right here close by to us, right here in Middle Tennessee, Tawny Prisoner, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. And, you know, we all fight so much to help animals, and anytime we have an opportunity to be their voice, we need to be. So I so appreciate you allowing me to join today.
Well, people don't even realize that there is something called a slaughter pipeline. And I know this is early, and people go, no, I don't want to hear this. Horses and people, even horse people, will argue you down that slaughter is a viable option for getting rid of a horse in your life that you can no longer care for. And I don't agree with that. And watching you, the first video I ever saw of you and your tears holding this horse and how it affected you, and when you were called to this mission, tell us a little bit about what happens. And people, we don't have legal horse slaughter in the United States anymore, but it's right across the border in Mexico and in Canada on either side. So horses are trucked for long distances. But why?
Their meat is sold for human consumption after they're killed. So horses in the United States, we think of horses as, you know, these amazing, beautiful animals that are here for us all to enjoy. And you think of the Wild West and you know, cowboys and horses. What a lot of people, and even horse racing, a lot of people don't realize is that horses are being sent to slaughter by the thousands. And you know, we go in and we rescue these horses and we pay their slaughter price so that doesn't happen. We bring them back to our facility. We have a veterinarian that's employed at our organization. We have 2 veterinarian techs, and they work tirelessly to save the horses. But there's always some that we can't save because their owners should have done the right thing for them, but they didn't. And then that, you know, we have to step into those shoes and be there. That's probably the hardest part of rescue, and it's a hard part for people to understand. But their option is just so sad that there's so many horses going to slaughter. And then recently, PetFinder banned us from their platform because we rescue horses from slaughter.
This is something that I don't think I couldn't even wrap around when I heard this, but I've gotten a lot because I have 2 rescued from slaughter kill-pin horses of my own at Angel Horse. And so here's the thing, a lot of people who are nonprofits, whether it's professional jealousy, fundraising jealousy, or just personal belief, they have come against what you're doing and say, if you buy from a kill-pin buyer, you're not an actual rescuer. I'm telling you right now what you do, and you go in and you've had physical violence against you and your team. You've had literally death threats over what you do. But it's all about the horses for you, pulling them out, fighting the good fight. But for PetFinder, now you rehome these horses to wonderful places. You get
Yeah.
them healed, you get them sound if they can be. And even if they're just a companion horse, you have that option as well. So what can we do to get you back with PetFinder? And first of all, why would they ban you?
So it's interesting with PetFinder's position is we've been a member of their organization for nearly 20 years. And way back, they did a TV show on Animal Planet called PetFinder, and there was a horse episode in there. And they couldn't find a horse. They were like days away from the final filming of this little girl getting her horse, and they couldn't find a horse. And so they reached out to us, and we had a horse because we do go to auctions. And at that time, we were going to also kill pens, feedlots, and getting horses. But we had this horse that was a perfect fit. If we didn't rescue her out of the slaughter pipeline, there wouldn't have been a horse for the show that they were filming, the PetFinder TV show on Animal Planet. So, we've helped them with that. We've been at many workshops. They've shown our horses during the material in the workshops. And everything was fine until recently they made a policy that if you purchase an animal during a rescue, like part of its rescue was to purchase it, that you cannot, not only can you not post that animal on the platform, the adoption platform, but your organization cannot even be a member. They'll deactivate your account. And so I kind of heard that this was in the wind, and it's kind of a push that if an animal is in a horrific situation where, it has a slaughter price on its head, they're saying just turn a blind eye to it. And I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm not going to. But we're simply asking PetFinder to make an exemption for animals that have a slaughter price on their head, because they need rescuing. I mean, what they're going to go through if they're not saved is just horrendous. Days in a slaughter truck headed to Mexico or Canada, no food, no water, getting trampled. So it's just it's very sad that PetFinder would make this statement. We said we get a lot of cats here in Lewis County. There's no there's no dog and cat shelter that just is open to mission and takes them. And so we asked can we at least put our cats and the other animals? And they said no. If you rescue out of the slaughter pipeline, the only way for you to be on the platform is if you stop purchasing horses out of the slaughter pipeline.
That is a travesty, and it is wrong. How can we get a hold of this petition and sign it?
So you go to change.org and just put in PetFinder, and it'll pop up. And we have close to 20,000 signatures. And when you're on change.org, when you sign it, they'll give you an option that you can help promote the petition. And people have given almost $20,000 promoting this petition. Like, they feel so passionate about it because every animal deserves a chance to find a loving home. And what PetFinder is doing is saying, well, this animal doesn't have this opportunity. We deem that it's not worth it. And I think they're, they don't want money going to, support industries that are I don't know, just torturing animals, basically, is what it comes down to. If they're wanting to prevent that, we need to go deeper into the laws and say horses, we need to look at their protection from a law aspect and stop them from being exported. But it's completely unfair to the horses to say, well, there's no laws to help you. And we don't want to help you either because we don't want people going to auctions and buying these animals. So we're just not going to turn a blind eye to everything and don't do it and then pretend it's not going to happen. And change is not going to happen like that. We have to be out there on the front lines, rescuing animals, showing what's actually happening. So many people that watch our weekly TV show, Horse Shelter Heroes, they're like, we had no idea that this was happening in America.
People do not realize, and I want to point out too, now this is this is one of my causes in this world. And I fell in love with a kill pin horse, and we literally pulled her off the truck heading off to Mexico, down in Texas. And she arrived, she looked like a skeleton. And when the vet came back to do her 6-month vet check, he was petting her and he said, "Where's that really skinny horse? Did she make it?" I said, "You're loving on her right now." He went, "Oh my gosh, this is the same horse." And it really is. And what you're doing, you do it day in and day out. I mean, you go to the Cookeville auction every week, and
well, not quite every week, but a lot.
It feels like every week, because you're pulling these horses. How many have you pulled this year? Do you know your number for this year? Because you do horses, donkeys, and some livestock. So.
Yeah. So all together, because we also have a grant program that we help other rescues purchase horses from auctions, urgent need situations, and then gelding, spaying of mares. If somebody has a mare that needs spayed, we want to help that.
Okay, back up. You can spay a horse?
You can.
See, I swear to you, I've had 4 horses for 40 years, and I learned something new from you, Tawny Prisoner, every single time I talk to you. You can spay a female horse.
You can. It's not widely done, just because of the cost involved. And some people are like, well, there's not stallions running around, I'm going to keep my mare away from the stallions. But a lot of times, if a mare is very hormonal, you can have her spayed, and then it'll mellow out those hormones, and then she'd be more like a gelding, temperament wise. Yeah.
Well, so we have learned something today on Farmin FriYay. Okay, change.org/PetFinder. That's how you do it. Sign this petition, even if you don't have horses. And take it from me, go to Tawny Prisoner's show on YouTube. It is a fantastic show. You're probably other places other than YouTube.
We're on Amazon Prime, and we are TikTok, and all over. But the neat thing with YouTube is it is free. All the material is free to watch, and the monetization goes back to help fund the media program that we have here. Because people wouldn't know what's happening if we weren't sharing the story and being the voice for these horses. It's incredibly sad to me that PetFinder basically, and there's multiple organizations that have been banned. It's not just us. But they will take a stance to cut out a very good nonprofit organizations who have a veterinarian that says, yes, this place is doing the best for these animals. This is amazing. And when they remove you from PetFinder, there's multiple reasons you can be removed. There can be, animal neglect. There can be a whole list of horrific things. And for our organization to be removed simply because we're on the front lines rescuing horses from slaughter is just like, we have platinum on GuideStar. Our organization is up on everything, yearly audits and everything. We try to be as transparent as we can, but for them to just say, no, you're rescuing out of the slaughter pipeline, you can't be here no more. It's cutting not even just horses, but donkeys, and a cow or a goat that ends up in a situation. And for them to say you can't post those animals and give them a chance to find a loving home is just incredibly sad to me.
Well, I tell everybody who's watching this, follow, subscribe, and share to Horse Rescue Heroes. You guys are what you do at Horse Plus Humane Society. Follow their website, follow their Facebook. Get on every time that you go live. I am like right there. I get my notification, and you take us with you to, even before the show, you go back and show us the horses that are available, and they come from some horrific things. And even if you just pull them, it's not just the slaughter. It's not just that. It's that trip from here in Middle Tennessee on a crowded truck of all sizes, genders of horses, and they have this long trip with no stops, with no water, and in this heat, holy moly.
Sometimes they're dead on arrival.
Oh, that all the time.
It's like, the suffering that they go through, as soon as they're purchased by a kill buyer and they're doomed to ship, is just horrendous. And a lot of the kill buyers, back in 2006, we rescued the first group of horses from a feedlot. And back then there wasn't the whole Facebook feedlot thing going on. And they were shipping horses to slaughter, but if they had a foal while they're at the feedlot, they'd pull the baby and ship the mom and all the other horses. And there was these girls that were at the feedlot, because it was kind of a family thing. And they didn't like it. They're older teenage girls, and they're like, can we want to find something for these baby horses because they're just dying. They just separate them from the moms, ship them off, and the foals were left at the feedlot to die. And so that's how I first got involved with going to actual feedlots and getting horses. And we were going to auctions a lot before then. We kind of tapered off because we were like, man, these horses are on death's door. And the prices we were getting the horses were comparable to auctions. And then over the course of time, their prices kept getting higher and higher. And I'm like, I could go to an auction and get 3 horses for the price of one that these kill pens are asking. So from that time on, our mission at Horse Plus is not so much, we'll take any horse. Like if somebody sees a horse at a feedlot and they're like, I'm going to purchase this horse, can you take it? That does happen. We will take them. It doesn't matter where the animal, unlike PetFinder, it doesn't matter where the animal came from. If it needs a safe spot and a chance to find a home, that's what we're here for. And I wish PetFinder had the same policy, because it doesn't matter where that animal came from. If it needs help and it needs a home, there should be nonprofit organizations that are allowed to do that.
Amen. This is the starfish principle. It matters to that one.
It matters to that one. And there was one organization that reached out to us that they also were banned because they rescued a pony from an auction, and PetFinder banned them. And they work with animal control to also promote the animals in their area because they're in a small rural area, and PetFinder banned them. So now they can't have the option of putting an animal, even, the animal control seized, on the platform to give them a home. And PetFinder, a lot of people are like, well, just make your own platform and don't worry about PetFinder. PetFinder is the #1 leading adoption platform in the United States. So for them to take the stance of that, if an animal is rescued, has a slaughter price on its head and rescued out of the slaughter pipeline, that it just doesn't have any rights to even find a home, or punishing organizations that rescue these animals. It's just, I'm really just blown away. But I think it really comes down to a solution. A lot of our followers are like, if Karina's also an owner in PetFinder. They sell dog food, or the horses. Is there a connection there? It's very discouraging. But I know, like, for these smaller organizations that are getting banned, they don't have a voice. They don't have a big platform. And that's where, when we were banned, I'm like, we're going to talk about this because it's not.
Amen. Right. And thank you for coming on the show and doing that. So again, change.org/PetFinder, sign the petition, share the petition, and use your social. I always say shares save lives.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing every single day. People say, well, I don't have a place for a horse. What do I get involved in? I go, share, save lives, period. End of story.
That's all you have to do. They did a research on a fundraising, like an animal rescue fundraising post. If you share that post, it can on average raise $25. So even though you might not be able to donate, you share it, somebody else could, or 5 of your friends. You never know what a share can do. So definitely saving lives. And for our organization, because we don't just take horses, we really take any animal in need. We even had turtles and exotic lizards before. I'm like, that's what Horse Plus, the plus is for every other critter that needs help. But with the PetFinder platform, we could take a kitten and put it on PetFinder, and within 3 days, somebody's flying here to Tennessee to adopt that kitten and take it home with them. And so that's where it's like, PetFinder is such an amazing platform. And I love PetFinder. I just don't like this recent change in their policy that excludes animals in desperate need.
And we're going to try to save that. And
Yeah.
that is what we're doing today. Thank you so much for your time, Tawny.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And just change.org, search PetFinder, sign that petition, share this video, and love all your animals.
Oh, amen. Well, we love you. Thanks for all you do. You take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, we're going to go to Wilson County now this weekend. It's already kicked off downtown. The Whiskey Jam fam was celebrating with music and NASCAR.
The city famous for its music is quiet now, but it's about to be overwhelmed by the symphony of speed. Nashville Superspeedway will be rocking from the pit to the grandstand. June 24th through 26th, the Ally 400 NASCAR Cup Series race weekend brings a mix of incredible racing and live entertainment. Tickets are going fast, so visit NashvilleSuperspeedway.com today and join the full throttle fun.
One of my most favorite happy places is beside a good campfire with a good poking stick. If you don't have a good poking stick, you don't have a good campfire.
It's hard to be planting your feet where your heart is. Don't you know it's a lucky soul who winds up where it always wanted to go.
My employment, I've been the site director for a detox facility in Nashville. I've been the program manager for a men's 33-bed facility. And now, I'm blessed to work with Brooks, where my job is all of the relationships with all of the different types of individuals, everything from doctors to lawyers, down to case managers, and all the way across the board. Anyone that might come in contact with someone that struggles with the disease of addiction or alcoholism. And I do want to touch on that because it's still called King Alcohol for a reason. We oftentimes, because all the headlines read opiate overdose or epidemic or things like this, alcoholism has risen a large amount in this pandemic, which also leads to the violence and the domestic type situations. And so that's my little soapbox that we often forget is alcohol. And it's legal and it's readily accessible, and you don't have to go meet somebody in the old Kmart parking lot to get it. You can drive right down to the next corner. And so with all those things, it's just been a huge blessing. I got someone into treatment yesterday during the Super Bowl, where a lot of people get to watch the Super Bowl uninterrupted with their friends and family. One of the things about this is, some people would think that's annoying, and some people say it. They don't understand the passion for what I do. But to me, the disease of addiction doesn't pick Christmas Eve or it doesn't pick the times when people's willingness becomes apparent and they're finally ready to say, let me get some help. And so, there's stories like that where, a young lady's admitting today to be able to get help that she needs. And then the reality also is, I was my best friend in this process. One of them, we got to celebrate 7 years Saturday, and we all went to go eat, at Cheddar's. And I sat across the table from this young man who he had been around for about 6 months, and he's, doing the thing in an accountable living situation. And this was just Saturday, 2 days ago. And this morning he overdosed and died. But the point is that I truly believe I'm a miracle, and I believe there are so many miracles that come out of this. The reality is also that we never know when we have an opportunity to impact someone's lives. Folks get really upset at something that they don't understand, especially if it's a parent or a grandparent or a family member that thinks they weren't raised like this. We raised them better than this. And that's one of the things that I try to describe and understand to families all the time. The disease of addiction changes us without our permission. But the cool story, the miracle of it all is so does recovery. When we get clean, recovery changes us without our permission. We start making decisions and behaviors when we engage in this process, and realize after we've already done something, the old me would have done something way different. I just did something in a positive manner that was not self-seeking or self-serving. I did it to help someone else or to help mankind in general. And you realize this recovery process is working. I'm no longer self-centered and totally out for myself and what I can get. And so it's a great path to be on.
Healing from substance abuse can be a lonely journey, but you don't have to do it all on your own. At Brooks Healing Center, you matter. We're here to lend you love, support, and acceptance on your journey to find yourself again. With medical detox, residential, and partial hospitalization program levels of care, we help you overcome addiction, trauma, and adverse childhood experiences through personalized healing journeys. Our seasoned team of heart-centered staff is here for you with support, compassion, and hope. At Brooks Healing Center, we'll love you until you fall in love with everything you are.
Normandy, Tennessee is where Brooks Healing Center is, and I got to visit them, and they are doing such amazing work. It's open now, and they even work, if they don't have room for you in their facility, Josh will actually find you a facility that fits you and your pocketbook and your location. But people come from all over. It's the most gorgeous, wonderful place. It's out in the middle of nowhere, outside Murfreesboro. It's close proximity. It's not that far out, but it seems like you're out in the middle of this beautiful field of lavender. That's what it feels like. It's pretty darn amazing what they've done, and they are taking folks out there, and miracles are happening every day. BrooksHealingCenter.com. If you've got someone that you love that just needs help, you can just let them know. Help is available every single day, but they got to pick up the 500-pound phone. Well, today there are a lot of folks, our wonderful friends at Farm Bureau and Farm Credit Mid-America, e-farmcredit.com. They have joined together, and today in Huntington, Tennessee, they're doing Shooting Hunger. And Sally, who sells for us up in Robertson County, who is part of our ad team there for new media and for our newspaper, the Robertson County Connection, she's up covering that for us today. But we got some information. What is Shooting Hunger? And our friends from Farm Bureau sent me the coverage from last year's event. We're going to have some coverage from this year's event. But until then, let's find out what they do and what exactly is Shooting Hunger.
What a day. Perfect weather, a record number of shooters here today. We shot well over 300 shooters here today, probably 65 teams or so. Whether a lot of us recognize it or not, there are kids that are sitting next to your children, your grandchildren, in the classroom right now, today, that their parents are making a decision whether to spend money maybe to pay their electric bill or to buy food. So we're out to feed hungry kids through the backpack program, and that's why we're here today.
There is food hunger. There are these what we call deserts inside our own state, and that's what Farm Bureau is doing with this. Bringing awareness, but also raising a ton of money that feeds people, and that's why I fully support the Shooting for Hunger thing.
I'm not too good, I'll just tell you. So I've hit a few of these, but I'm really having a blast and getting out with. I'm shooting with. Tennessee Department of Agriculture team, and we're just having great fun. This Shooting of Hunger events, all of them across the state, have been a great thing. We're raising a lot of money for food insecurity, and you wouldn't think it in today's world that people would be hungry, but it's 1 out of 6 children, I think, and 1 out of 7 Tennessee adults that are hungry from time to time. So this is a great fundraiser.
We always have a fantastic turnout here. We have a lot of our customers, co-workers, everybody that loves coming out here and not only getting to enjoy doing the sporting clay shoot, but also just for the cause itself. There's a lot of money that's raised here. That's the statistic that hurts the most is hearing about those hungry kids that are out there. So You know, everybody has got a soft spot in their heart for children, for our youth. You know, they depend on us, and so I think it's a big responsibility for us, and as far as the agricultural community goes, to be able to, you know, support those kids and provide them a meal.
At Farm Credit Mid-America, we are dedicated to securing the future of rural communities and agriculture. Whether it's helping deliver food to families in need, preparing the next generation of young and beginning farmers, supporting youth in local 4-H and FFA programs, or investing in college leaders through scholarships and internships, we are committed to supporting our local communities, farmers, and students. To learn more about how you can help support and secure the future of rural communities and agriculture, visit e-farmcredit.com or follow us on Facebook.
Oh, y'all, there's so many things going on around our area to help people and to fight hunger. Groceries have gone through the roof. I mean, I've got to tell you, not just gasoline, but there are also food shortages. And we're going to check in with everybody who's watching. Elizabeth, I know the story about the horses hurt my heart as well. Suzanne and Mark checking in with us from Alabama. And Miss Regina, we're so glad that you're out there. Suzanne and Mark, it's hot, y'all. Going to be hot again today. Everyone stay safe. I went outside yesterday, weighed 430, came back inside 230. You tickle me. I love horses. Regina, I'm so glad you liked our horse story. And Linda Stiles Cruiser, who joins us from Arkansas. And I know it's really wonderful what Tawny and the group at Horse Plus Humane is doing. Corinne signed the petition. Yes, for you guys who missed the story, if you do in the replay or whatever, Horse Plus Humane banned from PetFinder. We want to stop that. So go to change.org/PetFinder, and not just them, but all the other folks who are doing some interesting stuff. Buddy Crabtree, singer, songwriter. How are you, my friend? Is Hidden Acres Horse Ranch still thriving? I'm sure Sarge passed away years ago. Yes. Is Bud running it, or do you know? Yes, I do know. I go visit. Nathan Bud is running the place. It is a boarding and training facility, and it is fantastic. They've built a lot. They were hit by the tornadoes of 2020, and they had to rebuild a lot, but no horses were mortally injured. There were a few little injuries, but everything's good. Everything's taken care of. And so Hidden Acres, you'll see the sign on Briley Parkway. They're a boarding and training facility. And Nathan is one of my hay guys. So there you go. All right. And Elizabeth, we are so glad. You are always so great about our fantastic recovery stories that we have. Miracles on Main Street, brought to you once a month by Brooks Healing Center. We do a lot of stories of recovery. And I want to shout out to a friend of mine. I met a young gentleman yesterday out at Angel Horse. He came to the farm, and he's taking home a kitten. We have some kittens that are ready for adoption. If you guys are looking for a kitten in your life, they're absolutely adorable. And they came from feral mothers, and we're working on a trapping situation. So, but I feed everybody, so they find me. And we've got some beautiful kittens if you are ready to adopt. And Perry, joining us from Rugby, North Dakota. So glad that you're here. Anyway, a gentleman came by, and he's got this precious little kitten he got. He said, I just wanted to come back and tell you what Lucky's doing. And Lucky is this big. Lucky was not doing so well. His feral mom was not feeding him. So he said, I just want to let you know, I am officially sober, clean, completely clean for 1 whole year. And so we kind of did a little yay, hallelujah. And he went through this amazing program, and he said, I finished and I graduate tonight for my first year. And so if you're watching, you know who you are. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. We celebrate recovery around here. It's a good thing. Those are the good news that you can use. And I want to do a shout out to my friend Lisa Richard. She's been visiting Nashville from Canada. She was part of a fundraiser for our friends at New Leash on Life in Lebanon, Tennessee, at the listening room with Steph Mahan, the Young Fables, Rhiannon Estrada, and it was an amazing night a few nights ago. About $4,000 raised for New Leash on Life, and for a one-night event, that's a pretty nice chunk of change. So thanks for everybody who supported. Thanks for wherever you are sharing. We depend on you, whether it's a nonprofit or whether it's this little show. You guys who show up each and every day, I am so appreciative. So follow, subscribe, and share. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Anyway, have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys at Backstage Nashville tomorrow if you're in town. And if you're not, I'll see you on Monday, same time, same bat station, Main Street Media on 14 Facebook pages. And we're also on YouTube, and follow us on Instagram, Main Street Today Radio. Have a great rest of your weekend. Remember, you are loved. Bye.
Nothing like the sunrise with your coffee in the morning, or taking a good book off the shelf. Another thing I love the most than being on my own is together with everybody else. Together, like a silent Sunday summer. Together,